Are you going places or left behind because you don't have a travel companion? Listen to how you can travel more independently. Dr. Travel Best will bring you the best answers, tips, and hear mistakes so you can benefit.
Welcome to Dr. Mary Travel Best's Independent Travel Guide. This is for women who travel, who want to travel, and especially for those who want to travel independently. What's on your bucket list? I'll help you get there. In this episode, the FAQ is, what's my favorite place to visit? Today, the destination is Bangkok, Thailand, and the mistake is booking the absolute cheapest room possible. My tip is to get both motivation and perspiration in the right amounts as you travel. FAQ. People ask me this all the time. What is your favorite place to visit? Because they want to hear some great stories. So which of my hundreds of best places should you go visit? Well, that is really going to depend on you, of course. I will tell you some of my favorites. I love Australia and New Zealand. I love Banff, Canada. I love Yosemite, California. And these are all for different reasons. The South Pacific region, especially Australia, and the real people down under make me feel like I belong. Jasper and Banff National Parks in Canada were on my bucket list, and I finally got there. That was amazing to me. Yosemite was where I got engaged on Half Dome. So all of these places have different memories, and I will share more about these destinations in the future. So that's my quick place to visit for you. But think about where you want to go. And I know you're going to find a great place. So here's a destination that's independent. This is Bangkok, Thailand. I'm going to share a little bit about how fast growing the country is, and it covers a lot of area. I'm going to talk about some of the touristy things. In the north part, you're going to find Chiang Mai, and in the south, you're going to find Phuket and Krabi. But Bangkok is kind of in the central part of Thailand. Now, a little bit about the people. They're known for their great hospitality and tourism. I found it really easy to talk to people on the street, even in English. And I was by myself. The weather was tropical. It was hot. It was nearly 90 degrees in the winter, and it was very crowded. The capital city is Bangkok. What's my favorite food? Well, I like the pad thai and mangoes. There's lots of ancient temples as well as shopping malls, and they stand side by side. It's kind of a contrast. Another contrast is the Buddhist monks, plus those in the massage industry and the red light district. They share the same city streets. What I did learn was visitors should not speak ill of the Thai royal family, so it's probably not even good to mention them. Getting around on your own, there's a thing called BTS, and you get these cards. They're refillable. So I would recommend that because auto traffic is pretty well jammed up all the time. What about massages? This seems to be the very happening thing. I got a couple. They ranged from $6 to $9, and that was for an hour. They were great. I would definitely take one or more if you like them. It's a sprawling city, Bangkok. It's kind of hard to get a grip on how big it is. I would recommend taking the boat cruise on the river. It's a really good way to see a lot. There's a temple of Dawn, and when I walked into the temple, they said, you need to cover your legs past your knees. And it really was covered, but I put on a second pair of pants, and I did what was required of me. That night, I ate dinner at an Indian restaurant called Bukora. It was good Indian food. And I saw some local interesting things like a VW bus that got turned into a pop-up bar. That's right. The entire minibus was transformed into a bar. You might also want to ride on the BTS. It's a long ride to the ancient city of Muang Boran. And you can find out more about that. But you'll pass an elephant statue with 3 heads on the way there. Now, you get to this ancient city and you find out some of these are replicas. They're not really the originals. Throughout my stay, I took the wrong BTS twice, and I ended up going to all but 2 of the 35 BTS stops in the city. But because you can see out the window, there's a lot you can see from there. Now, one of my favorite memories of Bangkok was a formal tea at the Mandarin Oriental. I had satay and was really, really good. The Mandarin was right on the water and delightfully peaceful, a nice break. So, how's the shopping? Well, I found it cheaper than shopping used at Goodwill. The quality is average, so be careful what you buy. Now, here's an interesting story. Both places I stayed at had a rooftop deck with a swimming pool. One of those rooftop decks required a password. This password was a fingerprint. And the interesting thing was that the landlord had supplied a fake finger with a fingerprint. So I used that and it worked. The swimming pool on top was really delightful. So definitely, if you can, you'll love that. Don't miss this in Bangkok. Find the flower markets. It's the wholesale warehouse, and it's near the fruit markets. You can visit this on your own 24/7. It's free. Spend as much time as you can soaking up the smells, the colors, and the energy levels there. The flower markets in Bangkok. Today's mistake? Going cheap. Too cheap. Don't let this happen to you. My mistake was booking the absolute cheapest room possible. It was my first night ever in Europe. I was age 20 with a backpack and 4 girlfriends. And I booked us a room in a punk neighborhood in England. And yes, people were wearing safety pins in their ears and noses. All I wanted to do was sleep. However, getting the door kicked in by the painters woke me and all my friends. That's right. The painter said that he needed to paint our room in order to get paid. So he kicked the door in and we let him paint the room and then he left. What a mistake that was. But we were young and pretty foolish too. So don't go too cheap. Travel advice, motivation, and perspiration. Here's a combination of insight that's going to make for a great trip. Know when to use which one. The motivation is sometimes the hardest, especially if you just feel sick and tired. Try the motivation 5-second rule. Count down from 5 and then go forward. Like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then get it done. So once you've said that out loud and you mentally prepare yourself, you can rally through, and now perspiration is just ahead. So expect it, plan for it, and execute on these for a better trip than you ever thought you'd own. No one can ever take away your memories. Thank you for sharing this edition of the world's first guide to independent travel with Dr. Mary Travel Best. If you want to know more, just search. You'll find me and send me your travel questions so I can help you and others too. I'm looking for you to travel best. So go ahead. Let me know what's on your bucket list.
What's on your travel bucket list? Tell the doctor and her team of women who travel the world seeking the very best. Dr. Travel Best, that is.